right. Good morning, good morning. It is morning time. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Make sure I have everything on here that I needed. All right. We're going to get started. All right. Good morning. It is Monday. So I decided to get up this morning and do a couple of tarot card readings before my day started. I have been moving and my kid's going to summer school today. So I was like, I'll just get these out of the way. We'll start and then that's it. All right. We are going to do a few requests. Challenges in the past, challenges in the present, maybe something coming up, how they feel about themselves or how they feel about the relationship that they're in, as well as how we see them, how the world sees them, and kind of an outcome if they change things up in their life, or an outcome if they don't. All right, we're going to start with Teal Swan. She was requested, let's see. So Teal Swan was requested by Wake Up from the Matrix. It is another YouTube channel. This individual requested Teal Swan. I did subscribe to your YouTube channel, just so you're aware. And then Clinton and Uche were a request from Gia C. And I also subscribed to your YouTube channel as well. Just so we're on the same page and we are off to the races. All right. Sorry if it's jiggling. I just, things just aren't perfect over here. It's just how it is. All right. I will be shuffling cards while I'm talking about the individual. It's just kind of my thing, my jam. This person, now, come on, hold on. This person is 37 years old. So Teal Swan's actually, she is a 37-year-old. Her sun sign is Gemini, and then her moon sign is Aquarius. She is an author and a spiritual leader, as well as she claims to have extra sensory abilities, clairvoyant, clairaudience, and clairsense. I think I'm saying those right. If I'm not saying them right, forgive me. I'm human. She also says she's also the founder of, it's basically her authenticity movement, and it includes her therapy, what she's kind of came up with as far as like a therapy thing that she, goes around selling and talking about, is the completion process. So she is a Gemini sun sign, moon sign, and she's an Aquarius. So she's she was born in June 16th, 1984 in Santa Fe. And again, she is 37 years old. I didn't look much past that. I just kind of wanted to see where we were at with this one. We're just going to go over again a little bit about the individual. So we'll find out a little bit more about Teal through our cards. I'm going to do a couple more shuffles. The reason that she's probably requested, which I was surprised but not surprised that she was requested, was the mere fact that she is controversial. I know that she's a spiritual leader and this and that, but yet she also is controversial for her methodology, philosophy, the way that she does things. A lot of people think that she is just, kind of a narcissist cloaked in basically like a spiritual cape, and it's almost like some people think that she's, you know, a godsend. Some people think that she's just a blessing, you know, and others think, you know, she's a fraud. She's, you know, she's no good. She doesn't make any sense. This is fake. You know, she's a sheep or a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's kind of where this is at. People are at with this lady, Teal Swan. I don't mind her. I feel like anybody who has any kind of sensory abilities, I feel like we all have trauma. And I think that that's kind of where we pull that from, that vigilance, that sensory, like how we are like hearing things, feeling things, sensing things. We're constantly in the know. It's our hypervigilance from trauma. So I do believe this as well. So like people that were grown up, we were formed in the home basically that we were made in to become hypervigilant, to become these people that are able to feel. Oh, hello, hello. Yes, absolutely you can. How are you, Sahu? Sahu? We're just ready to start our Teal Swan reading. So anyway, she is controversial. Like there's things that are good and bad. There's just pros and cons to the situation. So it is good just to kind of get a little bit of a reading on her. All right, so we're going to find out about our Gemini Aquarius. These flies are just driving me nuts. Okay. I am doing well. I'm trying to beat the kids. I got up. Just trying to beat them. Trying to beat them before they get up. Get some tarot cards done. I got a couple other things I gotta go do, errands. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just get up early in the morning and do some card readings. Looking like this tarot's not wanting to budge. There we go. All right, a little bit of water here. We got Seven of Cups. That is in reverse. Our moon is in reverse. This individual, Teal Swan, is basically in this place where she has a struggle with personal values. And it's almost as if, you know, she cannot choose for others what they want. So it's almost like she tries to. She's trying to pull in this choice factor. And she's overwhelmed by even the choices and the decisions that she has to make just presently. There's some sort of, you know, self-deception within her. And that's this moon in reverse. That's indicating there's, you know, lies that are being revealed either within her or around her. And she has a healing anxiety. And it does say that her intuition is blocked. I don't know if that is actually indicating that it's blocked as of now or it's blocked in general. It's something like, okay, so like, you know, when you play a part in a play, sometimes you're not able to play that part as well as like, you know, somebody who might have gone through something because they've experienced tragedy and trauma versus somebody who hasn't and they're trying to play somebody of a trauma victim. It's just, it doesn't work sometimes. It's just better off that you have somebody who's actually, you know, can empathize with that situation. So basically, that's really weird. I didn't think that was going to happen. So something about maybe seeing somebody she's around too. So there could be some lies that have to do with somebody around her, maybe a water sign. That's weird. So it having to do with truth, but again, those cards are about her. So I don't, let's see. Let's get a little more out here. Some challenges within the past and presently. Yeah. So this choice stuff keeps popping up. So basically, you know, the first card indicating that she's overwhelmed by choices. She's super in-depth in her personal values, and she's, you know, tries to lay everything out on the table. Like, you need to have this. But it's like, Teal Swan, like, you can't force people to want what you want. And then it's indicating, you know, self-deception. So it's almost like she's trying to like hide herself from the truth of something around her or someone around her. And it could be a water sign. But there is definitely, as far as like a challenge in the past, there was definitely some sort of stalling, indecision. Again, that indecision keeps coming up. There was odds over something or making a choice in general. And this is our Hangman reverse. There was a lot of resistance. there was quite a bit of resistance in the past here. And that has a lot to do with, you know, not being able to make those kinds of choices here, or not seeing the truth. If you don't see the truth, you cannot make a proper decision. So that would make sense. So currently, though, she's feeling like there's no way out of something. So it's like Two of Swords upright, air sign, air element. So she's ignoring some tensions, and there's discomfort basically. But she's, again, not looking at the whole picture here. She's just looking at the good stuff. But it's like, you know, anybody can look at the good things here. She needs to really look honestly at a situation, uncover basically every single thing here, and stop ignoring the tensions. She keeps ignoring tensions. The people that are, you know, making her feel stuck or feel resistance, almost like she's letting them get to her in that sense. And there's an uncomfortable feeling here, almost like she's not ready. Maybe not ready for something. Maybe for a bringing together, maybe a coupling, maybe a commitment. Let's find out. Yeah, so she's definitely wanting to come up with some sort of solution, or the person around her is trying to come up with a solution. So something having to do with creativity, you know, maybe somebody that works with her. They're a very enthusiastic individual, but the taking of risk is something that they're able to do. That's why they're able to be passionate, be in the now, and make a choice. So it's almost like she's around this individual, and the stalling and the indecision is definitely based off her here. How does she feel about herself? Charge your battery. Good Lord. Of course, the High Priestess. Of course that would pop up. All right, so she feels like she's mysterious. She feels like there's a lot of potential within whom she is. Almost like every single word has potential. She looks kind of, you know, beyond what is obvious, what is actually, you know, a matter of fact. And she's very calm, and she tries to trust her gut always. She also has a separation, almost like emotional stuff going on. So there is relationship issues here. And it's almost like the crossroads. She's got this Lovers in reverse. Again, this is indecision. This is her at the crossroads, just not making any decision. And again, this could be vice versa. This is kind of how this is coming out. Which is surprising. But with anything, if you're not making choices, you're blind to the truth, you will never make a decision. You will never get to that place. So the separation from suffering will stay. It won't go away. I mean, the joy, that any of that stuff is not going to be expressed. It's almost like she's missing something. And I get that feeling off of her when I feel her, when I watch her. There's something missing. But again, people could say that about anybody, really. All right, let's see. The world sees her as almost like she lacks in her work. So the work, I'm not making this up. This is so strange. This is our Queen of Cups, and this is in reverse. So again, it's like, you know, she thinks, or she feels like she's in the High Priestess energy, and we are, hello. Yes, you can ask me a question. She basically feels as if she's this, you know, High Priestess, and she's this intuitive queen, and she's, you know, got her shit on, you know, lockdown when it comes to intuition, but it's very much clearly indicating that she's lacking in her work. She's overly sensitive, if anything, and she's definitely dealing with some sort of relationship with somebody who is not patient or has patience. I feel like she's the one who lacks the patience, but it's almost like we see her as if she's careless in the means of, like, you know, whatever it is that she's doing and showing people. You're welcome. Let's find out if she changes her ways, like, where could we end up? Where could Teal Swan end up? So changing her ways basically will put her in a place where she says yes to every enterprise, to anything, Two of Wands upright. So she, you know, bringing collaboration, that would alter the course. If she were to run into any kind of situation or issue, it'll definitely alter the course. And that's where this change would take her. But again, she's not a risk taker. So it's almost as if she's, you know, in a place where she wouldn't be able, if she's not saying yes and taking risks here, she's not going to be able to alter her course. if she says, screw it, I ain't changing anything, she's going to experience delay. She's going to find herself, potential for new, but she has a hesitation due to this lack of confidence, almost like lack of resource within her. That's our Ace of Wands. That's a reverse, but we have our Devil card also that comes up, and it's just explaining, the impulsiveness and the fears that surround her. Addictions. These are all things that are around her, and bringing into a likely outcome is just the whole mere fact that she has all of these things in her path. She has this entire energy of a Devil card. The Devil card. She has all of this stuff against her, saying her goodbyes, having loss, impulse, no control whatsoever, addictions upon some sort of having no lead within her life. But the likely outcome of her, I don't make this up. She's got it. She manifests. She has drive. She has focus. She is proactive in her creativity. She's proactive in her inner work, and the internal world is just abundant here. She's got all the tools. She does. I mean, she's not fraud. She's been through a lot of shit. So she knows how to say some shit, if that makes sense. Not a bad read, Teal Swan. It's not a bad read at all. All right, we are going to get started here with our next celebrity readings. Yeah, I'll do a quick 3 card. I'm going to do 2 more shuffles. Okay, Lorraine. You're welcome. All right. Okay, so there is somebody here who's almost, maybe a father, has some sort of father around him, or some sort of fatherly power. Maybe you do. Maybe you're that person with that masculine stability, that security. But there's something super confident about this situation, and him taking risks or focusing on success is just being passionate. Has nothing to do with not wanting anything in his life specifically. He's trying to come up with a solution for something, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it feels like it might have to do with a skill, maybe even a legal issue. I'm feeling like it might even be a legal issue or something behind you, or maybe just even planning to get into like a legal contract like marriage. But again, there's a whole thing here about just seeing the truth and making an effort, and that's what he's doing. There's a large confidence within it, and he's trying to be enthusiastic as possible when coming up with the situation. But again, it's just like, centered at the theme of you two is just this whole stability, security type of situation. And again, this father figure keeps kind of coming up. Let me just draw one last card. Likely outcome. So there will be things, 5 of Wands upright, that will come out that you're probably not aware of, or that they're not aware of. So basically life or relationship here is not as simple as it used to be, so you're going to have to put more effort into the situation. And there's new information about the relationship, and it's really kind of centered again around the stability and security of the relationship. But the taking risk and the focusing, trying to find a way to get into this place really quickly, trying to think and then act, their efforts are being made. or vice versa. One of you needs to put in more effort here. Is he an Aries or a fire sign? Yeah, so one of you is just kind of over it, kind of had it in the situation. It just feels like it's kind of like keeps burning out. So it's like you almost get to the end of it, but then it's just like because you're not seeing the whole picture here, or, you know, the risk isn't being taken or whatever, the new information is not being like read and like taken in. It's like you keep putting yourself back. You keep backpedaling here. There's no patience in this situation anymore. You're in this place, definitely. A little bit emotionally immature, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like there's a lot of effort being made on one side and none on the other. So, yeah, that's him then. That's that Emperor. So sorry, I just seen a bird. I was like... So he's got that Emperor energy. So it's definitely just, it's expressing that the one of you is making a little more effort than the other. Yeah, but he could this person could definitely be, you know, Emperor energy times 100, or they are for somebody else, or whatever it is, however you want to see it. But Aries are, you know, they're a breed of their own. They are aloof. They run amok and people chase. It's an Aries thing. I get it. All right, we're going to move on to the Clinton. Let's go into our Clinton reading. So we're going to go into Clinton, Moxon, and Uche Nwosu. They met in 2017, basically on that show, Are You the One? It indicated that he's just feeling a little burnt out right now. This individual is just feeling a little burnt out or kind of over the situation. And maybe that's, you know, the efforts that they put in don't look like efforts to you. So maybe they're a little exhausted trying to show that. All right. So basically these two are engaged, and I got a request for this again from GSE. And I did subscribe to GSE's YouTube. You're welcome. So he was born, Clinton Moxon was born September 30th, 1995 in New York. He's a Libra. He's 25 years old. He was a Instagram star and model, as well as his fiance, Uche Nwosu. She was just fashion and family on Instagram and basically has 210,000 followers. And she is a Leo. She was born November 19th, 1993, and she's 27 years old. They met on season 6 of Are You the One? And that was in 2017. And despite not being like a perfect match by the end of it, they're good to go. 3 years later, they're engaged and they're waiting for their wedding bliss to come up here soon, 2021. So that's what I know of these two. I don't look up any further, only again because it's a little more fun when I don't know much about this. Teal Swan, I knew a little bit about, but I don't know who these two are. I don't watch that show. I find it hard to watch. I don't know why. That kind of stuff. Ever since The Bachelor and like we kind of started figuring out reality TV was a fraud, those types of shows are very hard for me to watch. And it sucks. It sucks. It does. We're finding out a little bit about their relationship here first. Oi! Okay, so they have this new beginning. It is a new beginning indeed. So this is just kind of a fresh start, fresh get-go here. There was a lot of work done internally in the relationship. Clarifying needs, trying to have a sense of direction in it. So there is a lot of work being done within this relationship. There's a little bit of a lack of confidence within this relationship. It could be because it was so quick and so fast and it just felt that way for them. But emotionally, it's erratic within the relationship. And it's almost like the goals are behind them, some of the goals. So it's almost like there's a lack of focus within the relationship. And especially if there's a wedding coming up, then all the focus is on that wedding. So it's not something like where, oh my God, they need to get divorced because of it. It's just something that kind of, causes a delay because, again, our focus is on a wedding instead of the actual relationship. So I'm sure there's always a slowdown in energy or, the way that, the relationship moves in waves. It probably rifts around because the focus is on, Pinteresting your wedding. I'm sure they're not Pinteresting their wedding. It's probably a little more exciting than that, I suppose. Okay, so let's find out some challenges. So time management, Two of Pentacles upright. So it's just priorities and not having like enough time for each other. And again, that's probably the long distance stuff. Or it could have to do with the fact that they just don't, they have so much going on as far as jobs and, photos, rehearsals or whatever. These people are extremely busy, I'm sure. So, but the two are together, they bring each other a whole, but it's just, again, it's adapting to this time management situation, really trying to feel like their priority here. Currently, they're kind of in the first stages of things. It's almost like they feel as if this is an emotional and physical upheaval. So it's like they're running uphill with rocks in a bag and they just feel like they cannot get anywhere. They feel like their, feet kind of keep slipping out from them. And they're not even quite in the middle of their relationship stuff, but they, they do retreat from people so that they can, have moments together and, go inside and deal with each other. And that's just something that they do. So it is not a matter of, is it worth it? It's just, trying to get time, again, that time management, time to get into these places. So it's just like recovering, healing, and then they have distance probably, and they're doing this and this, and then they come back together, but they always make time for each other, it seems. So one of them, I'm feeling like he feels like he has unfocused energy. So he's feeling like he's a little unfocused here. These are just kind of like, almost like because they're getting married, probably she's almost in a place of just kind of a little bit heaviness in the physical and the emotional as well, but she's mentally very bogged down at the moment, almost like she's drowning underneath all of the issues, the challenges that weddings bring. I'm sure those are the things. So the world sees them in a place of relationship issues. That's so weird. Lovers reverse. Almost like there was so many choices. There was just so many choices and it didn't really matter. The world watched them, separation. The world watched them be not 100% a match. The world watched them, be in this place where they were considered relationship issue city. Like relationship bullshit, that should be their name because they're not a perfect match according to this weird reality show. Well, I got news for you. It's not always the case. Let's go into an outcome, likely outcome, if they just kind of maintain this situation that they're dealing with. And this is good or bad. I mean, it's just whatever they're doing. Is it good for them? Yeah. They'll just have a new beginning all the time. They know the value of their relationship. Page of Pentacles upright. The skill that they develop through manifesting constantly a new relationship, new, and beginning, love, internal work. It's just like they're constantly doing these things with each other. And that, that means a lot. That means a lot. It ends up meaning a lot. If they said, screw it, I don't want to continue doing all this hard work for, a relationship or whatever, they would definitely get into a place where it would kind of look beyond what is obvious. And we would definitely see a mystery in the situation, but they'd just become a mystery. It would just become aloof and just potential, not an actual relationship. By the end of this, it's just change is always required here. Or else there will be a connection that will end. But again, that's just kind of a likely outcome to the whole entire ordeal. This whole reading is just basically expressing that they are pretty rad. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing a lot of work, a lot of footwork, a lot of repairing, a lot of healing, and a lot of like internal work in which they have to vacate others. And they do it. Keep it up. Keep it up. Even if they don't want to, they be doing it. But if they don't, again, the overall scheme of things is that it will not last. The connection would end for sure. All right, I got children to attend to, but I want to make sure that you go ahead and hit subscribe as soon as you can and click that bell so you don't miss any of the Hangman Tarot notifications, as well as miss any future readings with me. Again, I'm Jordan. I am Hangman Tarot. And if you would, please go check out all those social media links in the description box. You can share, like, and follow each of those if you would. Go check them out. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, I am always open to new celebrity readings, new ideas for new readings in general. If you have something in mind, just let me know and I will add 2 things, and we will see you shortly. Have a beautiful Monday.